the way all her generational curses. She's related to the tribe of Judah. Please
She's
forgive
related
her.
to the tribe of Judah.
Forgive her, for she knows not what she's doing. And I'm sorry, Lord. I mean,
Oh, perfect. Lamb.
Yeah, what's up?
I
Oh,
was just about to go to bed.
what a cutie.
earlier. What the fuck are you talking about?
What are they talking about? Why am I getting pinged?
Oh, well, because I told, my friends about your unhinged DMs to me all day.
That's
And then-
It's just you're really funny
and-
because
hold-
you're very
time out.
judgmental about the people in my server, right? And
You mean the
always have been,
Nazis and the sexist people, absolutely.
right? The people that you
But
call
what I'm
Nazis and
but what I'm
sexist,
saying
yeah.
is I was telling them, and I was just like, oh man, what if he joins? That'd be really funny. We can have like a take two. And then Octi's like, you want me to add him? And I was like, yeah, sure,
You
whatever.
joined my server in
I
the
got nothing
first
going on.
place with me being very explicit with you about how the fact need to be as open as possible, right? That was
So
like the
I
whole
joined your
premise.
server because Octi invited me, right? And then
And
like
I
I was
told
in
you
there.
that there were people with
and
all
then-
kinds of views.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
and
wait.
you know what I've said, right?
Whoa.
Here's the thing, Lamb. I knew I can judge anybody for any reason. That's kind of my right as an individual, is it not? Just like it's your right as an individual to judge anybody for any reason.
Okay, so you're
Correct?
venting, and whether that's accurate or just
No.
vitriol is just that's just collateral.
No.
That's
So
just
do you think
collateral
that people aren't
opinion.
allowed to have opinions? And honestly, like I don't so I already told you that I don't like Nazis and I don't like sexist people, and I think that they have low IQ, and the only reason I go on your server is to meme. I told you that. You said,
Right,
"Alright."
but if
Yeah.
you,
But I
I've
draw the
spoken to
line
you
when
before about
I
how,
don't like to be in non-18 plus servers. So
I get a
left.
lot of defamation, right?
Right.
And
What's
so
defamation
it
about
starts
that?
with people that say that,
What
oh, I
if
just have a
why
couple
are you
opinions.
projecting your trauma onto me right now?
Why are they're saying it's okay, she's age fluid, right? And they're like, okay, she's mentally mature enough if you ask
What does that
Lamsol,
mean? She's
age
age
doesn't
fluid?
matter to
What
him,
does that mean?
right? So what are you saying that is
What does that
provoking that kind of language?
What are you talking about? What the fuck is
These are the messages being written in the general chat of your server, right? By Octi, who is in here right now.
Oh, they're probably
and who is
clowning
in here
about
right
the
now.
comment. Yeah, because I told them all about I told them all about our
Can I
conversation.
join
They're
her
probably
server?
complaining about it. Yeah.
I'd
What are
like
you
to
talking
join her
about?
server.
Is this guy over 18?
Yes. Can I
You sure?
can I join her server? Just
Yes. If there is proof given to me that he is under 18, I will ban him. Like I've said to you
Aw.
time and time again.
Well,
If you
I'll
are
say I'm under
you
18 if I want to play with the rules a little bit, but no, I'm not.
Sire, are you under 18? Yes or no?
No. But
Okay.
but I
Lamb
really
sauce,
want to say
anything you do,
yes.
he's banned.
I really want to
Anything
say
you do,
yes.
he's banned. What do you want about? There's only so much
Huh?
I can do.
Oh, I know. I'm
See you
just.
later.
Oh man. All right.
He really tried to pull out that card. Hey, is she
I
think
wanted
she's
there to be more,
under
but
18? Is she under 18?
I know, dude. He's just so butthurt. He's
Did he
like,
try to bounce your
defamation? I'm
server?
like, nah, bro. I'm like talking about our you're unhinged. What do you want
Hey,
about?
I think I. That's crazy, dude.
No, so I told him that he should just join VC because I'm getting I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed, and I just didn't want to keep typing. And
You don't have to respond.
I mean, you're asking me questions, so I'm assuming you'd like a response. Is that not accurate?
I mean, yeah, that'd be nice, but not required.
I know it's not required. I don't have to,
it's just
but
how you're contorting something that I said as like a hypothetical, as like some sort of like acceptance,
so
reversing the fact.
I'm gonna be honest, Liam. I read them, the paragraph you sent, and I read them the whole. I asked if who's the youngest person in your server, and you said of your knowledge is 16. So I left.
Rudius, who came from this server, who is now no longer in my server.
Yes, but at the time, but here's the thing. Time out. When I asked you, you said in this moment, like that I know of, this is the youngest person in the server currently, right? And then you said
I didn't mean in the server currently because he's been banned for like 2 weeks.
Because I said, okay, well then you didn't read my message. So all I'm saying is in the information that I had, right? I'm like, oh, I'm leaving the server. I only hang out in 18 plus servers. Period. If you make an exception and allow a 16-year-old in your server, then it's not 18 plus. I don't care what you
Yeah,
label
yeah.
it. It
This
is
was a
fundamentally not 18
miscommunication.
plus, right?
Yeah,
So
because
then
the
I'm
Rudius
leaving.
guy came from here, right? So
Yeah,
because
and
the
then when
Rudius
we
guy
found
came from
out that
here, and you
we
asked
banned
me,
him.
what
Wait,
you
so
asked me, right? Is this an 18 plus server, right? And so, knowing how much you seem to hate the demographic of people in my server, and knowing that the only minor I knew of that had actually been active in any recent time in the server
I think
was
hate
a
is
minor from your server, I made the assumption that you were actually pro minor server, and so I said no, my server is 18 plus. But
can
I'm
I
not
butt in
going to
here real
say
quick?
I'm so close-minded to the point where I would never let some minor in if he was like just like a day away
Wait,
from
so
18 or a
hold on,
month
wait,
So
so your
away.
this
And
answer
is
would
this
sure
is a
enough,
very
be
important thing that we gotta situate first. What makes you think that Rudy is 16?
the fact that he told me, that's a big part.
So he told you that he was 16 because
The British
everybody that
guy, yeah.
knows him, like he is just universally, he's 26 years old. He's a 26-year-old man.
Maddie said there were two Rudies, which is the other confusing part to me, because
Yeah, that's what
the
Octi told
Rudy.
me.
So
So no, no,
if
no. Okay, so that when the ENTP server was created, there's Rudius, which was originally was Tails. He is very factually 26 years old. He opened it up with House, who is 16. And then I joined, and I was pretty adamant about making it 18 plus. So we booted House out, that was a minor, and so then that's what it is. But the owner, Rudius Tails or Fluid Mirror, whichever way, he is officially a 26-year-old man.
okay, well, in my memory, I don't know what he said. I don't know who I was talking to anymore, but he said he's 16. He had the same accent as Rudy, right? He was the EII guy I'd been talking to. That's what he said, and that was the information I was operating on. So if he's not, then that means there were 0 active minors in my server. To my knowledge, of course. I have no idea
Does
how many minors are in here. I
does
have
your
no idea.
does your
Hmm.
answer so you said that you answered that way because you were assuming that I was a pro minor kind of server person. So does your answer change depending on
My
what you
answer is, so
think
for
somebody
example, let's say we rephrase the question, right? Because these are the kinds of questions I get on a regular basis. Is your server pro-Nazi? Is your server pro-alt-right?
Okay, but what you're
Things
doing
like
is
this. Just
projecting
claim.
you're projecting a lot of shit onto me that I've never done, right? So that's one
Once
thing that I
again,
just
in the
100% don't
same way that
appreciate.
you act based off of previous experience, so
Number
do I
two,
act based off of previous
num
experience. So what I
number
was
two,
saying was simply,
number
no,
two,
it's an
I
18
asked you a
plus
very
server.
specific question. When you said I answered that way because I assumed that you were a pro minor server. So I'm asking, do you typically answer questions that you assume somebody would like to hear?
Once again, I'm saying that even though this is a rule, I can't not fathom a scenario where an exception to the rule could possibly be made, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this is the rule, right? And that means any minor can be banned at any moment because they are a minor. But is
She
there a
just doesn't
certain
like the exception.
Yeah,
once
so
again,
I
it's
just
the whole, it's the
so I just don't do that
universal
exception.
categorical nature that I was just adding that clause in there for.
Do you
I don't.
feel like
I tend not
personally
to believe in
attacked that I left your
100%
server?
absolute.
Because it obviously very deeply upset you. You've been messaging me all day about it, and you called me like a Karen out of nowhere,
You
and you were
respond
just
with a
like,
claim, I respond back, a chain reaction occurs.
no, so
Right?
time
So that
out.
was a feedback loop.
Octi,
Right? That we
you
got
read all
into.
my DMs. Thoughts?
I think so.
Hey,
What I know
best
about
friend, thoughts?
Yes. So Maddie, I didn't even know that she left your server or anything until apparently you started messaging her because the other person that happens to know you. So she left quietly, and our confusion between me and her is she doesn't really ever show up in the server. You have quite a few people. Apparently, you guys are not that close.
She shows up in VCs
So
relatively
I
often.
joined like last week, and then before then haven't joined in like a month plus.
I just thought she asked interesting questions. Right? There
Okay.
aren't too many extroverts that are active in voice chats whenever there's
So
one around. It's interesting. So
the
when
only
she left, I
thing,
asked why. Right? It didn't have to be a big deal. It's just the reason that she left was because she interpreted what I said as my server being
when
an under 18 server.
when you make an exception to the rule, that is no longer the rule, right? When
I
you're
don't
like it's
understand.
18,
If
when you're
Congress people
18,
pass a law, if
when
they pass a
you're
bill,
when
right,
you're
they
18
acknowledge
plus,
that
unless that's when it's no longer 18 plus. right? Because it's in
once
here. I
again,
don't care if
in
someone has the
life,
mental maturity of a 60-year-old. If you're
in life
16,
things
you're
don't
leaving.
work that way, right? If
Someone's
Well,
been
this is
grandfathered in.
this is Discord. I don't
So
know
what
what to
I'm
tell you,
confused
sir.
on, Lamb, which I was getting at, the confusion is whether she agrees with like your ruling or your interpretation. This is just something that she's tailoring so that she can have the optimal experience. She wasn't spreading around any like thing about your server. I didn't even know about it. It was very tight-lipped. The
based on the
problem is,
messages in the chat, it's implying that age
So
doesn't.
here,
They're saying
so
age
no,
doesn't
what I'm
matter.
caught up on is
why do you care so fucking
why
much?
do you feel invested in her removing herself from a situation that for whatever reason she just happened to deem it wasn't for her?
I would imagine for the same reason I would inquire on why she would just assume that I was saying my server was not 18
So
plus, which it was, just
let's say
merely
that
adding in. Maybe it could theoretically change in the future at some point, but I'll let you know if it ever does.
so
But
let
it
me
hasn't,
let me
right?
rephrase my question. If she had, with her reasoning that she gave you was because, well, there's just too many people in the server whose usernames start with the letter A, would you get equally as caught up?
Letter A
Even though it's
is
like a really dumb reason. It's a dumb
right.
reason, like a really, really dumb reason, but she's like, this is just what I just personally don't like for myself. Would you feel like
That's
it's caught up?
fine, because if she tells people I left because the people in his server started with the letter A, that's
You were right,
fine.
Octi.
If she comes in and says I left because he lets minors into his server and
Okay.
he's a pro minor server,
Okay, so you
that's
do think
different.
I'm just gonna tell? I already told you I'm not gonna tell people your fucking server is
These
covered
are
in minors.
these
It's
jokes
not.
are already being made in the general
That's
chat. So
yeah,
how are
we're
they getting
joking.
these ideas? Where is this coming from? The timing seems very
So
interesting,
she's
doesn't it?
only sharing, she has only been sharing the fact that you were just so caught up on her reasoning for leaving. Like the fact that you just even DM'd her about it to begin with. Or not just even ask a question, because general curiosity and feedback is fine. It's just how you weren't respecting the fact that in your interpretation is a dumb reason or misinterpretation why you were so caught up on it. That's what
Well,
she was sharing.
I
no,
even
because when
said
I come to the
what I
server,
did is I said I'm gonna read you what he said originally, but I want you to
wait,
know he
real quick, hold on.
retracted it.
Let me just
Stop
tell
it.
you why I'm here.
And I
Let me
said
tell you why I'm here. This is
I don't
important.
care why you're here. Hold on, I'm talking.
Well, this is
You
what
can't
this is what they're
you just
saying.
can't interrupt me in the
Okay, let
middle
me
of a
just get the
sentence, right,
screenshot.
Lamb? That's not how
Let me just get the
conversations
screenshot.
work, right?
It's
So hold on,
okay. She's
my
age
Ian.
fluid.
Hold on, yeah, that's a fucking joke, Lamb.
It's
If
okay. She's mentally mature
if
enough. If you ask
if
Lamb Sauce, age doesn't
yeah,
matter to him, right? That's
yeah,
getting in
that's
the
because
area of libel, right?
would
That's
you
becoming a little bit like that's a
you
little bit fucked
literally
up.
don't matter that much for that to be liable.
Oh
Listen,
my God! Do
Buckaroo,
you have like
I'm gonna
any
tell you
idea
right
how
now,
much shit we deal
the
with?
downfall of your server is gonna be more so that you have like people that are like, "Hello, I introduced myself as a Nazi," than anything else. Lamb sauce. Like, if you want your server to like thrive and have like a certain like, if you want it to be like a vast group of people, the company that you keep currently is not gonna
Minors
be like
have a
that.
lot of legal baggage that come with them. There's
Oh
actual
my god.
consequences to
Literally, you're
things
not
like
even
that.
listening to what I'm saying. So why are you here then? Because I'm trying to explain to you what
Because of the
happened. So
exact
this is
things
okay,
I'm
I'm just
seeing
going
in
to
the
talk over
chat.
you. So this stop
They
talking if you want
pinged
to know what
me,
happened.
Maddie. They
So
pinged me.
yeah, that's because I told Octi, she's like, "Oh, do you care if I ping lamb sauce?" I said, "No, it'll be funny. That's fine. He can
Okay,
come in here.
so
Maybe
here
we
I
can have a
am.
take too."
Ta-da!
Okay,
Cause and effect.
so I'm explaining to you why the jokes were happening. So I was explaining this whole thing because honestly, how you handled all of those DMs completely unhinged. It was wild,
the
and
joke
I
part.
was like, oh my god, this is so
We
crazy.
don't actually
I
care about the
Right,
minor
just
or
like the
whatever.
letter
no one
A
cares about the
example, right?
minors,
Because
right?
here's the
So
thing.
no one cares about the
You're
minor.
saying who cares
So
if she
okay,
wants
do
to
you
leave
want
your
to know
server
why we
because the
pinged you
letter
or
A
not,
thing?
lamb sauce? Last chance.
You already told me why. What are you
No,
talking about?
no, I'm in the middle of explaining. You're
Oh,
getting ahead of me.
okay.
So what I was doing is I was explaining. I was like, so it all started with, and then I read the paragraph that you sent me about if they're mentally mature enough, and then I said just for the record to be straight, he did later retract it after I read, and then I read the thing. It's like, if somebody asks, I will say that they make exceptions if you're mentally mature, and you're like, hold on, I don't want that to be the case. Let me rephrase this for you, Karen MEOWKAT, right? So I
Yes.
read those things and I said, so this is now currently his stance on that. Everything you're reading is just memes between friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but do you
what
feel it spreads lies about the server, and gives it like a bad reputation because people can't tell.
Listen,
They
here's
can't
the thing.
distinguish between
All I'm doing, which by the way, I love you and you're so beautiful. Okay, just flat out, all of this aside, oh, she's so gorgeous.
She's lovely,
you.
and she's
Anyways.
had to deal with a lot of people talking a lot of shit about
That's
me. to
awesome.
her in
All
the
I'm
past.
doing is I'm repeating Lamb's words in the
That's
context in
not
which they.
repeating Lamb's words.
Time
in
out.
general.
Time out. I read them, right? I read them out loud. So I'm repeating your words in the context in which they were said because I also read what I say. So if anybody interprets anything, it's because of the conversation we were having in the context we were having it. So if you're afraid that people are going to get the wrong idea, I would suggest that you word everything very specifically. That
No, legally, yes. Yes, I'm gonna make sure I have a lawyer read over my messages before.
No,
we're
I'm
even
just,
sending them.
dude, I'm just letting you know. No one thinks that your server is covered in minors. No one's saying any of that
Even
in
then,
meaning
there's
it.
so
All of
many
this is
typology.
It was very, very like strongly how you seem to interpret that in a way that
I
seemed to
don't
indicate
have any
you-
feelings about your server with minors. My feelings about your server is like, oh yeah, there's a lot of Nazis and sexist people in there. They're in there
Is anyone
every
here
time I'm in
Jewish?
That's
there.
not why you said you left.
No,
If
that's
you
not
said
why
that
I
would be
left.
fine.
No, that's not why I left. I left because there is an asterisk. There might be a case where you allow somebody that's under 18, and that's a line
In
that I'm
which
like, oh, I
case, I would let you know, right?
and
I
that's
wouldn't
okay.
just say
And
surprise.
all that would do, Lamb, is I would just leave then. Why does it matter
Right.
when I leave then?
Makes
Why do you
sense,
want
right?
me in there
Because
so bad? Lamb, why do you want
it's not
me in
even
there?
that I want you in there
Then
so
why
bad.
are
Once
you
again,
fighting this so hard?
where are we right now? We're in a
Why-
typology server. This is all about understanding how people work. Plus,
Yeah,
the
but you're
way that you
fighting me on
responded.
why I work.
Trust me, this part is relevant. The way that you responded, right, was very in correspondence, right, with people of these certain letters in the past, and I'm trying to better understand where the miscommunication occurs.
I think
right,
that your
to
ego is
improve
getting in
future
the way of you
communication.
understanding people's perspective.
What am I getting? What's my
Full
ego getting out
disclosure.
of this? What does my ego get out of this?
I
Me trying to
think-
understand you.
So
What do I get out of it other than knowledge?
But even in
The
the same
way-
chats I was
Wondering
reading,
where-
when you were trying to understand her, you were low-key attacking her that she's kind of absurd for thinking that way.
Yeah, you were
Like, you were
calling me
attacking
stupid, my
just
moral
kinda
high ground. You're
her
just like, oh yeah,
morals rather
MEOWKAT and her
than
wisdom and her
rather
moral
than
high
actually
ground.
understanding.
You're
You
not
were attacking
understanding.
her.
You're being very
Do you have a
aggressive.
MacBook, Lamb Sauce? No, I do not have a MacBook. But I cannot conceive of a time that there would be no instance in the future where I might consider
So you're
purchasing a
going
MacBook.
to go ahead and
It's like,
not
so you have a
answer
MacBook.
you.
That's
So-
basically what happened, right?
Okay,
I said
so-
maybe,
so
perhaps,
what-
there's
okay,
a
hold
situation
on,
I could have one in the
go
future.
ahead.
You go, okay,
I
so you have a
know.
MacBook.
Hold on,
That's
this'll be
basically
super
how you went
important.
about it.
This will
right?
be incredibly important. 1 second.
And guys,
Were you listening to that response? Because that was a really important component.
There's
I
so
was
many
I was
typology
listening
servers that
as
have
hard
minors,
as you've
so-
been listening. Okay,
Wait,
so
what?
here it is. Ready?
Just-
I said
said-
there's a lot of typology servers that have minors, and it's super chill.
Oh, there's minors in here for sure. I guarantee you.
Send me
Statistically,
proof.
it is
Oh,
statistically impossible that in a
Oh.
server of hundreds of people, none of them are under
So
18, even though there's no
here's the difference,
verification
Mom.
process.
I can tell you the difference, though, and about needing to fact check, is that from a legal standpoint, is that if somebody is actively telling you this is, my age, and there's a text trail, and then, in a way you can safeguard yourself. The moment you find out at any instance that somebody is a minor, there's mass issues when it comes to like virtual any type of encounter. There's a big
Exactly.
difference. So that we
That's
don't
why
have
they're-
to we don't have to fact check them. There does have to be like an actual like verification either on their consent or now proven otherwise. Yeah, and of course there's other servers that go above and beyond where they want to be extra
No, I
safe.
understand. I'm not
Yeah.
condemning you for this, but I'm saying I go by the same procedure, right? That's how it works there as well. If I see someone who they say for whatever reason, joke or not, that they're under 18, they get banned, and that include the guy Rudius
Okay,
who
right
said
here.
this, whether it was a joke or not, right? And that's what happened as well.
So then you don't
Here
make
it is.
exceptions.
Okay, let
What?
me read this.
So then you don't
Yeah,
make
yeah.
exceptions.
As of now, no. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right?
Why
Now,
you leave jungle?
if-
I
if,
only
let's
hang
say
out at
some
8+
17-year-old
servers.
was
The
built in a particle
ENTP
accelerator,
server is run by a minor. That's hypocritical. No,
I
it
thought,
isn't.
dude,
Yes,
he
it
said he
is.
ran the
Hold
server.
on, I'm
He said
reading
he
this
was-
to you in context so
Can
that
we
you
record
understand.
this for like a reality
That-
TV?
Sire, I need you to just shut the fuck up for like a minute and pray to God for me, okay? Pray for my sins real
I'll
quick.
count a minute.
Okay,
Actually,
so
I'll
it
count
says
30
the
seconds.
ENTP server is run by minor. I read that. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Tails is not 16. Dude, yeah, he is. Okay, none of that matters. And I said
What'd he
before
say?
the server
No.
was run by.
My apologies. I
18+,
get false
there's
information, right?
No. Hold on. I'm
But she's
getting to the
telling you
point.
that
I-
she knows he's not like 16.
I-
You could be like, that was under my impression, but now you're
Yeah.
kind of.
But he shouldn't be saying that either.
So time out. Here it is. Before the server was 18 plus 16-year-old running it, and you said I don't know if any other minors in the server than him. That's why I said it. And I said it got changed to 18 plus when he left. I did a heart smiley face, and I said there are no 16 or I'm not sure why you think he's 16. And you just go, lol, Jesus Christ, what a racist. Already you're why are you saying this?
Yeah,
Like,
you're not getting to the root of the problem we're trying to understand. You're attacking.
You don't care why I left. You're being aggressive, right? And I said, lol, what? Are you upset I left, LOL? And you said, it's just a bit odd, as though my server is crawling with minors, which it isn't, since it's 18 plus. Now you're accusing me of assuming this, which I've never said. You're just putting words in my mouth with that sentence, right? Which obviously puts me on the defensive.
Because you left. Because you said I don't hang in 18 and servers that aren't 18
I just
plus.
said so. Now what you're doing is you're blaming me because you
I'm not blaming you.
So
I'm telling
I just
you
said
what you
if
said.
someone met a certain criteria threshold, I'd consider it. And I said, I know what you said, meaning you make exceptions for people that are under 18, that you're not an 18 plus server, which I firmly my stance is clear on that. If you make an exception,
if you were in this situation,
server,
right?
I'm
sure
I do not hang out. I do not hang out in non-18 plus servers. I don't care if there are no minors in there currently. I hope that clears things up.
But you hang out in Nazi servers? You hang out in Nazi servers.
You applied me a exception, right?
Because you call it a Nazi server, right? So by your own definition,
I really only said that to sound tolerant, since I know morally righteous you are, and I know damn well that Rudius guy was 16. So yeah, it's an 18 plus server. So you're not trying to get to the root of it. The whole point of me reading this to you, Lamb, is that you're trying to come in here and you're trying to be like, well, I'm just trying to get to the root of it.
Right?
But
because
you're
the
not,
subject
right?
matter was quite serious.
You're being aggressive, right? You're being aggressive. You don't care why I left. You don't care my thinking. All you know, all
Remember
you're feeling.
Octi's example?
All you're feeling in
hold
here.
on, this is
all
true.
You're feeling in here is she is going to tell people I have a minor server. She has this perspective of me, and instead
remember
of asking,
what Octi said about the letter A thing? Remember the letter A thing she just said?
And instead of you asking me, do you have a perspective that my server is crawling with minors? You assume that's my perspective.
That's what you said.
No, it is not.
No, you said it's not an 18 plus server, right? Which it is.
And what I said to you, do you remember what I said, or would you like me to reread that for you?
There was a lot of things said. What you said is that, just because,
I will reread that
even though it is one now, you're saying that even the fact that in the future...
I'm going to go ahead and reread that to you. Meaning you would make an exception for people that are under 18s means that you are not an 18 plus server. Period. Absolutely.
What if you became not an 18 plus server in the future?
What if I became a non-18 plus server?
Yeah, is it a non-18 plus server now?
So what I would do, if that ever became the case, I would make a giant announcement, and I'd be like, everybody, just so you know, we are changing the rules. We are taking away that this is an 18 plus server. That means that we will follow the Discord guidelines, and everyone can be I forgot what, 14 plus or something to be on Discord. Just so you know, so if you are not comfortable with that, feel free to leave, and then I would change the rules.
But that's what I would do. When I made the server an 18 plus server, I sent out a message saying just that, right? Now that this is now an 18 plus server, right? So when I first started the server,
you understand the conversation that we're having right now, because I think that you're so caught up in what you assume is happening, and you're not listening to the words that were said.
I understand your perspective now. Right.
Did you know?
Is pretty important there.
For everything that I gathered, the main reason why she's just not okay, even in the future, even if you are 18 plus, strictly right now in the future, is that she does not know that if at any given point a 17-year-old that can build a crazy accelerator of some type, you might go ahead and slip in. So that's why she's
axiomatic. My apologies. I 99% don't believe in God, but there's that tiny chance that maybe he's real, right?
That's the root of it. That's the root of it.
Because of that tiny chance, Lamb, and then because of that tiny chance, I don't want to be in your server.
I don't believe that anyone believes anything 100%, and that includes you.
Okay, well, I 100% do not hang out in servers where there may be an exception.
Guess what? There is no exception. In the same way that what you're saying now, you could contradict tomorrow, right?
Okay, then I can contradict tomorrow. I think what's way more interesting, Lamb, is why you're so obsessed.
That's the thing. No, I don't. That's why hypocrisy bugs me so much.
It's you are so obsessed with how I'm living my life.
You invited me here. Here I am. I wouldn't have joined if you didn't tell me to join.
I know, but you've been DMing me on and off all day.
I stopped
About
DMing you. I'm
I'm not
getting
excited.
pinged
I'm just
saying that you
saying
guys
that,
are talking about this. I ask, is she talking shit? They go, a ton.
So
Right?
it sounds like
So
you think
I'm like,
that she
oh my
might
God,
be.
it's not over.
It sounds
Right?
like you think that she might be a hypocrite in the future, and you're accusing her of being a hypocrite.
No, I'm just saying right now because she said I'm not here to like tarnish anybody or do anything like
That's
that.
because
Like
I'm
it's
not
fine, it's
tarnishing
misunderstanding.
anybody.
But then of
well,
course now I get a ping saying that she's talking about it right now.
I read
both of
I
you
read
are
the DM in
semantically.
context in order.
I got the ping, and the ping said you were talking shit, right?
Yeah,
No,
and he
I-
also said
So if you
gender
didn't do
fluid.
that, it would
He
be
also
over,
said
right?
gender fluid.
But if
Lamb
you
sauce.
didn't do this, it would be over, right? If you didn't start talking.
So
that
I
shit.
will just
Well,
say
I am going to tell people this story because this is a wild story. I'm telling
Like-
all of my friends.
AKA talking shit.
If I read them in
Once again,
order,
you're just trying to, you're
and
looking
it's
for some
not
way to
talking
frame it in a
shit,
way that's like,
if
then
talking
why am I
telling
getting
the
these
truth
things
to
saying
you,
age doesn't matter?
it's not tarnishing your server that she's doing. She's just tarnishing you. That's the
How did
difference.
someone interpret it in a way that says age doesn't matter to lamb sauce? That's what I don't understand. If you
No,
really
they
read
would
everything.
interpret it like what
I
she's
made it
saying is
very
that you might
clear.
make a very slim exception. That's all she's been saying.
And then to clarify, I retracted that and said, you know what?
and I
Let's
read
be-
that,
okay,
and
let's
I
be
read
super
that
But
clear.
you just
All
said
verbatim.
it's
stuff is
99%. You just pretty much said that there could possibly be
What I'm
like.
that's literally I'm making a statement on
Wait, I
human
think he's
thought in general.
wait, he's being
I'm getting a little too
hypocritical.
philosophical. My apologies. I'm making a statement about
Can you
human
please?
thought.
I'm
in general.
sorry. Being
There's no such thing as 100%.
You're being a bit hypocritical, and it makes me
That's not
uncomfortable. I really
hypocritical.
need
I'm
you to
not
say what you
contradicting
mean.
myself.
Okay, I
I'm not
really need to say.
contradicting
Well,
myself.
well, I don't know. You did tell me today that there is absolutely no exception whatsoever. And now you're telling me there is a 1% chance. So that
Because
does sound
humans
a little
can change.
I'm
hypocritical.
making a metaphysical statement that nothing,
Oh,
you can never, dude, you know what? Based off the conversations we've had in the past and the information I had of Rudy saying he was 16 and that whole thing, so me thinking that you were pro-minor and I know how you get when it comes to things that you don't disagree with, I was trying to, like, just say that I'm not a closed-minded guy, right? And, like, I don't know.
I know that
maybe
you're
there
not
could
a
be some
closed-minded guy.
circumstance
You
that
have
changes
Nazis in
things.
your server. Like I know that.
Right, and you were okay with them.
Yeah,
More
because they're
than
really easy to. Yeah,
perceived
because
to
I
be.
don't clown on children. They're children, but
Because
I'll
you're a
clown on
hooker.
like.
I get it. I understand, right? And so then that makes sense, right? I get it. Now I understand why you wouldn't be around
not
minors
actually a
based on the
hooker.
nature of your work.
That was like a meme.
Well, there could be
Son of a
legal issues
hooker.
there, right? There could be legal issues there, right? I mean, after all, if you're involved
You
in
do know
sex
that I don't
work,
actually
Why are
do
you
you're in
sex
calling
one
work
her
life
for a
out on
beyond
the
the
living.
meme
minor.
that she did?
Because that's why I think she interpreted so brutally.
But
That
why
what I
would she
said
interpret it
is
that way if that's not
you didn't
actually what
remind
she
me.
is?
I didn't interpret anything brutally. You said there might be a chance that you change your mind and you might let a minor in your server, so I
I
left.
retracted it
That's okay.
wholeheartedly.
That's
You're
okay.
still saying now
What does
that
it
you might
matter? I
change your
still
mind
left.
because people change.
But Lamb, I
Okay.
already left.
To
What
the
the fuck does it
extent
matter if
that
you retracted
anything
it?
is uncertain, which is a metaphysical
Lamb,
That's what she
statement,
just
meaning
said,
the
it's
same
life.
way. Okay,
Lamb, I already left your
3.333. Hold
server.
on.
Why does it matter that you retracted it?
3.333, right? Times 3 equals 10. Even
Why
though
does
it
that
doesn't,
matter?
right? It equals
Why does that matter, Lamb sauce?
9.99999.
Lamb
I'm
sauce.
saying
Why does it
certainty
matter
doesn't
if you
exist.
if you retracted your statement? I already left your server.
That's
Why does it
fine.
matter?
So stop talking shit. Why am I getting pinged?
I'm
Why am I getting
well,
pinged?
okay
Don't
because
ping me.
okay
Don't ping me.
well, you're getting
Huh?
pinged
She
because
didn't ping you. I
you're
did.
getting pinged,
I
mister.
pinged
Young
you.
man.
So
Like
you're
this is
it
getting
wasn't
apparent
even
stuff I'm
her.
talking about.
so I was telling the story of all of your unhinged
You're
unhinged
saying
messages,
you won't let it
right?
go, but then I get pinged, right?
So
Once
what I'm
again,
telling you,
hypocrisy. I'm
so
not
what
the
I'm
one
telling.
not letting it go.
So what
You
I'm
are.
telling you, the reason why you got pinged is because Octi's like, hey yo, what if like I was just like, oh, what if you joined? That'd be kind of funny. Like we can have a take two on the unhinged messages. And Octi's like, shit, should I ping him? And I go, yeah, that'd be funny.
So, by the way,
That's
that
why
was
you
like
got
2 hours
pinged.
ago, and I didn't actually ping you for that reason. The reason why I pinged you is because we were just cracking jokes in the general that happened to be relevant to a conversation 2 hours ago, and I'm just like, just be funny if like Lamb saw it. So then that's why you're here.
That's why you got pinged. It's all for jokes. This is funny. This is funny for me because Lamb Sauce, your messages were fucking
So then
wild
it's
and
not
unhinged.
funny because you don't sound very like amused right now. Actually, you sound kind of
No,
stressed.
I'm having a great time. I don't think you understand.
Okay, but you're the one saying you won't leave it alone. So if you didn't care either way, why would you be saying
She
that?
did leave it alone. I was the one that pinged you.
Like,
After what she said. After
Because
something
we were
she said.
joking.
Because I'm
Because
telling
we joke
this-
about every
You were joking.
conversation.
It's a joke.
Because-
Everything's a joke. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Right, you're a
You-
hooker.
you-
How's that for a joke? It's funny to me, right? You're a hooker.
That's
I
okay.
mean, it's funny
for
to her
you.
too.
I
That's why
mean-
she made the
Right? Jesus
joke.
Christ.
I mean, yeah.
Apparently not. She's like, my private life isn't relevant to strangers on the internet.
No, because I told you,
Seriously.
I was like, oh, I actually am not a hooker. That was a joke, and you're like, yeah, now that it's convenient
you
for you,
are. Come on,
and
you
I said to
literally
you,
said
and I
and
said
then
to you, I didn't tell you my
So
real
she tells
profession
people
because my
here. She tells people here that she's in cybersecurity. She just changes it up every server. It's just like that's
just
the whole point. It's
just
to have
funny
fun.
for me because
Wait
I'm
a
just
second.
like,
You're coming at
'cause the
me on the
thing is-
words that I said, right?
the
About
thing is-
minors in the server, and you're the one
Because you're-
joking that you're a
because-
hooker,
because
and you're
you're
the one
serious.
criticizing me for
Maybe
using
I'm
the
not
that's why
words
she's-
criticizing
properly.
you. Why was
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't criticize you. I left. You've been
See, I was
criticizing me the
memeing, Maddie,
entire time.
you. Oh my god, it
Oh,
was
you
a
were
joke. I
memeing?
was
Oh,
memeing.
dude, it happens to the
Yeah,
best of
oh
us.
my god,
Remember I
right?
got
Just
you
like
back
the
with that
hooker
hooker?
meme, right?
Look
Yeah,
how
okay.
mean-
You were going off
how
about
mad he
sex
is right
workers'
now.
rights for like
Maybe
an
we should
hour.
change his name to Maddie.
You were
But-
going off about sex workers' rights for an hour and about how you're a sex worker and these are reasons that it should be treated like any other profession, right? You were
Yeah,
literally
and
like
I
having that
firmly
argument.
believe on all of those, but I'm not a sex worker. I also think that like people should have unions, and I also think that
Are
like
there
everyone
unions for
should be treated
sex
with a
workers?
baseline of respect. Yeah. So
Wait,
So,
wait, is anyone in the
like just
labor
because I
union
think
for
that
sex
like
workers?
just because I think that like CNA should have a union doesn't mean I'm a CNA, and
So
just
you say
because I
things
don't
about
think that
yourself
like
that aren't
doctors have to
true.
work like 72 hours doesn't mean that I'm a doctor. Like I
You
just
say
believe that-
things that you don't mean, but those things are okay because they're jokes, right? And even though I'm saying I
well,
didn't
yeah.
mean what I said,
I mean, yeah,
that
I
can't-
guess, yeah.
that's not
Dude,
okay.
dude, just because you like don't 100% understand the memes when they're happening to you doesn't like it's okay. It
That's
happens
a
to the best of
cop
us.
out.
I
You and
I
me
have
both
your
know that's a
sir down here
loophole.
thinking I'm gonna hex him tonight at like 3.
That's called
because-
plausible deniability. You're
What are you
just
talking
you're
about?
using a loophole, right? That's not so anyone could say that you just don't get the joke, bro. That's not an adequate response to saying something that you said.
Well,
You
I don't
didn't-
know what
you
to tell
didn't-
you. I'm not a
You
sex
gave
worker, and I
no
did it
signals that it was a
because it
joke.
was funny.
In
Yeah,
fact, you were acting as though you were arguing a serious point. So if
I know,
you
that's
use
what made it
jokes
so
the
funny,
same way
because
you
you
use
believed
serious
me.
points, you
Yeah.
cannot be surprised if people misinterpret you as saying
I'm not
something that
surprised.
is
I'm not
actually
surprised.
true.
You
So
believing
then,
that I'm a
once
sex
again,
worker
you're
was
going to have
exactly
these
what I
problems
wanted.
a
Yeah.
lot, right?
I don't have a problem. This is great that you still believe that I'm a sex worker. It's actually
You're
adding
hypocritical because you're calling out my language as true, even though I retracted it. Meanwhile,
This is
it's
the
okay when
very
you
nature of
say
the
something that's
ENTP.
true and then retract it. We're
So
not true
okay,
and
I see all the
retract
mental
it.
gymnastics that you're doing, right? So the difference is that you were being serious the entire time.
Are you a
And-
sex worker or not?
No, I'm not a sex
She's
worker
not a sex
Okay,
worker.
why did you say you were?
because
You
it was really
retracted it,
funny.
right? Okay, so you're
Because
not.
it was really
Okay.
funny. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when I said that, I found that to be pretty funny, right?
Okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if there was a time? Yeah, but
So
you don't
then,
understand the meme?
Are you
That's
saying
not
that when
my
you
fault.
messaged her and that whole time that you were messaging her, are you saying that was a joke?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well then.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna
yeah.
keep talking about it and be like, guys, listen to this. Like, I'm gonna read you all
Hey
these
guys, listen to
DMs
this.
in
Maddie's
order.
a hooker, right? And she's
That's
literally
okay.
like, yeah,
Dude,
she
you can tell
loves
people
She's
I'm
not
a
gonna
hooker,
care if you
right?
say
Sex
that.
work
She's
is
not
a
gonna
real
care.
job.
Lamb sauce, lamb
Right?
sauce.
Even
I
though it's
literally
not
tell
lying
people
on
I'm
your
a
back
hooker.
and just taking a dick.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
You
here's the
really
thing. You
work
can
it.
go to
Imagine-
every single server and say that
Oh
she's
yeah,
a
oh,
hooker,
could you take
and
a
it
dick?
wouldn't remotely phase her.
Dude, they're like, oh my god, like, are you the hooker? And I'd be like, yeah, I am the hooker. How do?
No, it's fine. Okay, go ahead. Have fun
Can-
with
can
your
you-
really funny
Can- can-
interpretations of memes, and I'll have fun with my funny interpretations of memes as well. Sounds good to
Okay.
me.
We support
Okay.
you.
You
We
could just
support you.
brainwash your wait. You
Yeah,
could just
hooker.
brainwash your audience and like make them like hate her or something. I don't fucking know.
Dude, he is so mad right now.
so defensive on just like every
Well,
aspect. Bro.
that's just like
Dude, it's
this is
literally every aspect. Like me reading, like I was like, no, you're I was not attacking you. It's like, okay, let me read this verbatim. And he's like, well, let me not talk about that part of it. Let me.
Dude, that was a funny debate, guys. That's like a cockfight.
It's like you're a hooker, and it's like, okay,
Bro,
yeah,
that's
I
like a
told you.
dog
I
fight,
literally
bro.
thought
That's
you
like
believe I'm a hooker, and that you still believe I'm a hooker. You're
It's
adding-
actually less work for you because now you already have a reputation. It's like, oh, good. I don't even have to do the meme.
Oh god, I hate her. She's a hooker. That's why she doesn't talk to
Exactly.
minors. She might what? Like charge him for sex? What does that even matter? What does that mean?
I love it.
Oh man, dude, that was great.
He's so caught up on her like reputation. Oh my god.
Dude, he is so mad.
oh man, there's
Why?
like
Why are
gas in
people
my
saying
tummy.
this? This is a joke, dude. What do you mean? You're in an ENTP server. What do you think it is? Aren't you
Oh,
like a
sorry, Ben.
Yeah,
Ben,
I should know
I
how
just
it goes.
realized you fucking pinged me. Nice. All right.
No, but Satire, I am actually gonna hex you in like a couple hours.
I don't.
So
Okay, that's fine. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna hope that you're okay.
oh man, dude,
I'm
that
gonna
was.
convert. Mark
I'm
my words.
sad
I'm
that
gonna. I'm
Arcanine-
gonna If I live through the hex, I'm gonna convert you.
You know
like,
what's great,
slowly.
MEOWKAT? I like how like when we're vibing, it's just you and me. Or like, do you feel like doing anything? Nah, I want to vibe. You want to play a game? I don't know.
You want to go to
You want to
the
go into the ETP server? Originally, Ben, I was gonna tag you because I know that when you talk, just generally, it's leads to interesting conversation. But this turned out 10 times better.
It turned out to be so fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, how are we even gonna catch Dan up